Hello there, you're listening to Zolimoli's Thoughts and Nuts. This is day 3 of my 7 episodes straight in 7 days podcast challenge, which I'm just doing it for fun. And I have done one mistake, which is to not search. I forgot to prepare a topic. So I did a fast search, fast browsing of what topic to talk about. Google what topic to talk in a podcast. And then the things that I found is the things that I would not click to listen. It's because of the title or the category, but then I could have just tweak the title a bit to make it more clickable or listenable. And however, I was like, you know what? I was almost giving up on this challenge, but then I'm not going to give up because I want to do till 7. I want to finish the challenge as clean as possible or to go through till the end. So, because of that, I was like, what topic should I talk about? And then I remembered one Japanese talk show. It's called Shikujiri Sensei ore mitai ni naru na. The meaning is like, mischief sensei, do not be like me. And I think it's a good concept, a good topic that I would love to talk. Long story short, it's about the things that I've done, but I would share so that you won't have to repeat the same mistakes that I did. Now, here's the thing. Whenever people give life advice, no matter who they are, young or old, because experience differ from different people. And even young people can give their life advice because, we happen to face different kinds of life and different kinds of problems. So be open to listen to life advice that people would give. However, this is one thing about human. We do not listen to these kind of things. Because why? We do not we're always like, that's your story. What if I try it first and then I'll be okay? And that is where our stubbornness come. Be like, hey there. It's like we are so super duper stubborn to listen to people unless we experience it ourselves. And some people be like, betul, yeah, true. Why can't people be more, understanding and listen to us more? Here's the thing. Some people, they are not very audible-ish. As I said, the learning styles. Some people are very auditory, some people are kinesthetic, some people love writing, some people need to discuss in order to understand a topic. And when it comes to learning styles, it does not apply to just university or study group or education. It also applies to whatever the things that you are learning or you're experiencing, like life. Life is a series of mistakes, but we learn from it. And that is where a lot of us are pretty much very, very kinesthetic. We need to feel it first in order for us to understand fully. If someone says do not light a dynamite and not throw it. Of course, some people will like, yes, true, that is very indeed true. But, some people can be stubborn. I once witnessed during primary school, this kid, it was kids being kids are very mischievous. And that time it was everyone had mercun because it was Raya. And there was mercun manches, mercun bola, mercun whatever it is. I don't know. I only remember those two because those two, like Merchant Manches and Merchant Bola, I remembered two very bloody gore experience. Now this kid, I don't know why, but thank God I did not lit the goddamn merchant, because this guy is like, hey, what if I light this up and then I just hold it in my hand? Now, with common sense, and if you're an adult, definitely you wouldn't do that. You would definitely throw it away, or pretty much you wouldn't do it. It's like trying to kill yourself. It's merchant, it's explosive. You may get injured. However, for kids, primary school kids, they do not know shit and being very adventurous at the same time. And so this kid, I mean, there was three very bad, uneventful experience, or some, what do you call a bad event? The merchant munches one, the guy was like, he lit the merchant and then he hold it in his hand. Well, obviously he got injured. Seriously. He was seriously injured. His hand kind of burned. I mean, I couldn't really remember how serious it is, because this is where the other event or experience that is way too gory that I can remember. Merchant Bola, you should not open it. I mean, inside is there's like the bahan bakar. I don't know what you call it, but this kid, three kids, be like, they open it and then, ooh, what's this? And then they were like, what if we just like burn directly to the insides? And what happened next is that those three were sent to hospital, because why? Their hands were not in a good state. The guy who were like trying to lit the merchant up, his hands kind of like to remember. I mean, even if with a simple imagination, if you think someone who burnt or who explodes or try to baka a merchant, yang bahan bakar tu directly without any time, like those little things that psst, and then they start boom, and without that psst, you would be like directly, what's the word, it's not attack, but yeah, but then long story short, definitely you will get injured again. So yeah, that is like an intro for things that people do not listen to advice because they want to experience it first. Not is that they want, they just happen to like, they don't trust words. Action speaks louder than words, they say, but words can be um tajam than swords, or whatever they call it. So yes, so I'll be sharing my dumb, embarrassing mistakes so that people do not have to do it. But if you plan to like, I'll do it anyway because why, I want to know, then go ahead. I'm not stopping you, because when you experience it, you will understand better. However, if you're like, you can just listen to this episode as like the embarrassing mistakes that Zol ever made. Jumping on the mistakes, I won't share too much, but probably like 2 or 3 only. And these are the mistakes that I still remember. And if it's not like a particular experience or event or a certain place and time, it might be an accumulation of activities and action. Like, being lazy for 5 years and then realizing on the 6th year, be like, I shouldn't be like this. I mean, it can be an accumulation of actions, but that depends. So, number 1, never perform without practice. Now, I'll share this. I still regret. I mean, I won't say I regret. It's just very embarrassing to me because everyone was looking. And it was finally a project exhibition. My project was projection mapping onto bass performance. And now I was busy as hell making a sculpture with other three. Wait, one, two, three. Wait, four, five. I'm not sure, but we were making sculptures for our exhibition. And since it's a sculpture, and I like doing things that are very artsy fartsy, although it does not. I mean, I'm not sure it did like made our exhibition look like, hey, this sculpture is like very Instagrammable, very looks picturesque or something. I mean, hey, that is an achievement. We made a robot sculpture from cardboards and paper mesh, paper mache. Is that what they call? I forgot it. Yeah, I mean, I did. We did that, and we were kind of very ah memories. However, for me, I I never had the time to practice my bass performance or bass guitar performance since when you're in an exhibition, pretty much if you're doing something that because my exhibition there's a lot of multimedia stuff. If it's games, then pretty much over time you would check for bugs before exhibition, or if it's like production movie or short film, you would just show it and then be at your station to talk about what if someone happens to be like, important people, hey, how did you do this? And then you would now for me, I need to be at my station, my place, exhibition, my spot to play my bass guitar because it makes more sense because it's like a real time preview, real time performance. When I play bass guitar, then it would like it's not like it looks like as if it reacts to what I play, the images behind. But pretty much it was just time. I mean, hey, why not? It is a step. It is one hell of a form. If I have like a better programmer or technology, then performance with projection mapping is possible. However, since I was so busy with like doing the sculpture, I did not have time to practice. And on the day of exhibition, I embarrassed myself. I mean, I feel embarrassed because why? I thought I could do like, okay, here's me being direct. I won't filter any shit. I could have just like used the projector and then use a small part of the wall and do a small performance because I was at the very end of the hall. Yet I choose to make it big because I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Probably because my body would fit that, or it would look grand and not cheeky or mignon. So I did that. However, before I what made me feel like crap, I should have done this is that I forgot to tune my goddamn bass. So it sounded crap. That is the first thing. And when I was like playing like 2 or 3 times failing without any practice, I realized that a lot of people were actually looking at me and I'm like, oh frick. You know what? I'm going to run away. And I ran away and I just play like thank God that because before exhibition there was this like we show it to our lecturers first and during that I recorded myself so that I can submit it like this is what I do. And after that feeling of like oh crap, oh well, oh crap, everyone look me, I feel embarrassed. I do not want to appear anymore. I want to disappear from this place. Like those kind of embarrassment where you feel when you fail, you pretty much would be like I do not want to do this anymore. And so I did. And me and my mom be like, there was a cafe, so I disappeared into that cafe, drinking latte. I think latte or cappuccino, I forgot. But just calm myself down. And I was like, oh man, I should have not done, regretting my decisions. And that was the first day. We still have to be in the exhibition because there were people visiting still. And as I was like, this is one thing that I learned is that when you make mistakes, it's okay to feel down, but do not stop there. You may take a few minutes or moments to regain your composure. I had to do like a full Sparta regain composure, I fell down and then I had to like stand up way too quickly because since it was 2 days exhibition and it wasn't even the end of the first day exhibition and I have to like still perform. I mean like not perform, I need to show my project. And so it's like I regained composure and I'll like tune my goddamn bass guitar. And then I pointed my projector to the small wall so that I can, like, not make a big ass mistake. In order for you to like, this is also something. If you are new to something and like challenging something new, always do mental training or vision training or practices because even if like you would make a mistake even all the practices and at least you would what you call avoid the biggest mistake that uh you can do. And so I did my mistake. It was a big ass mistake personally. And so I had to like do a wee bit of like 15 minutes thinking, okay, how do I regain my pride or my, my respect or people's respect or I don't know what, it's just that I don't want to make myself embarrassed again. And as I said, I made it small from big wall to a small wall. And then whoever wants to watch I'll be like, yes, I do this bass performance. And then it reacts. I say react to my bass performance and the images will react. However, it's pretty much just time. I mean, it's an idea. Like, so whoever is like, important people will be like coming and then, hey, what is this? And then I'll do a small performance. And then they're like, oh, this is very nice. And at least those small, and that is where I learn small achievements will, even though it's small, if you accumulate those small achievements, you will at least actually feel proud of doing the things that you're doing. And yeah, that is one of it. Next, the second thing that I would like share is never stop halfway. Now, never stop halfway. I mean, I've stopped a lot of things, like comics. I've stopped doing comics because I run out of things to draw a story because I don't know. I mean, I could have just draw something like a story, but then at the same time, I keep on looking at my limitation. Oh, I can't draw like this. Oh, I can't draw like that. I can't draw anime-ish, and I feel like what? I'm gonna stop because but at the same time, like this is where I keep on reminding myself, do the things at your own capabilities, and even if you want to try to push your limitations, do not push way over. Just do like, okay, I'm very good at what I'm doing now. I'll push one level a bit to test if I can do it or not. If I cannot, then I'll discard the idea because why? When you're increasing your level or skills, pretty much there are branches of skills. If the skill is not for you, then it's okay. You don't have to be like You don't have to fret over it like, I want to do this. I mean, it's okay to not be good at something. Because why? There are people who can do it. And then pretty much, for instance, um, I cannot do like sell stuff without having like, I mean, it's a learning process, but at the same time, I do feel that I'm not great, capable of selling stuff because I did it. I did once, and to say that I got like, what you call untung, I did not get any untung. So I've come to realize that nila, whatever. Where was I again? Skills. Where was I? Skills. Yes, some skills are not meant for you. I mean, it's okay. You don't have to like, but they can do this. I mean, yes, they can. But then, if you really, really 100% cannot like, why can't I do this? There are two things you can do. One is that keep on doing that until you learn how to manage. Like, hey, I can finally do this. Or you just take a rest, take a step back, not to touch that anymore, not anymore. Pretty much just keep it in a shelf, your mental shelf. This is not something for me, but I will try it somewhere in the future. So just go somewhere that is like, hey, I'm capable of doing something new, like another new skill. Now, to go back to never stop halfway. Among the things that I've always stopped, like other than comics and then recording bass guitar. I mean, right now I'm still like, I keep on practicing before I could like, record, since I have a wee bit of trauma from my final year project. So I just play without my camera and without the what do you call amplifier. I just play the bass guitar. Like without amplifier you can't hear shit, but then that's how it sounds like. And another thing that I've like almost stopped halfway is this podcast. Because if you realize if you're like watching this or listening to this on Spotify, the very first season of my podcast is called Zolimoli's Rambles Podcast. And now it's called Zolimoli's Thoughts and Knots. Meaning that, I mean, some people have seasons because, like, hey, this is the end of first season, we're going to make something new, or we're going to continue another arc. But me, I stopped the first season, like, so sudden, to a point where the very last 3 episodes that I posted is about, hey guys, how's it going? I can't upload anything because, it's like an update and not a podcast. So, never stop halfway. And as it may seem impossible, some people be like, and when I say never stop halfway, because some things are meant to be stopped, like doing bad shit or inflicting pain onto others, etc., or hating a person. Some things are meant to stop, but then if it benefits you, do not stop halfway, because you'll never know. If you're looking for like, hey, this will bring me somewhere, I mean, hey, that's where your goal is like at. However, if certain things are like, if it's passion or like the things that you enjoy doing, do not stop halfway, because you'll regret it somehow. You will feel the regret. And then thank God I continued doing this podcast thingy to a point where I'm doing this weird challenge, 7 days straight, 7 episodes. I mean, hey, that is where I spice up my experience and learning, and my journey as a podcaster. Because, as I said, if it brings you joy, it never stop halfway. You may stop in the middle somewhere when you're like burnt out or you're feeling like hitting a wall. Then it is okay to stop for a while. However, do not stop. Okay, I'm gonna stop here till forever. You might want to like be what you call to return and do it again. For instance, I also realized is that if you've done something very embarrassing or a failure, like for instance, me and my base and my projection mapping performance, I think one day, someday, somehow, I want to challenge again to do it so that I could like, I've done it. You will forget about the failure and then you will remember the successful performance you've done or you're about to do. I mean, that is something about human, and because we remember the good things. I mean, do we remember our success more a bit? Our failures, we do remember, but then depending on the sequence of time, if that happened like way long ago, and then afterwards you happen to like successfully challenge yourself to not make a mistake, then you would remember that success instead of the old past mistake. You will, if you're like telling a story to people, giving life advice. And last but not least, always try. When I say always try, this might like it's not always what people would want you to do or something. This the always try advice I point to like how do I say? If it's with friends or if it's a fun thing, if it's a fun thing to do, always do it. Always try it. Do not be like, for instance, going on a trip with friends. If someone happens to like invite you to like, hey man, do you want to go to this and this for an 2 days trip or something? Then say yes. Just go. No matter how broke you are, just go. Because your friends are there to back your money up. Although you have to pay them later, but then hey, enjoy the moment. And do not say, and some people whenever we're like saying no to a trip with friends, it's mostly like their excuse is like, I'm sorry, I have things to do. When you have nothing actually, because you just want to be in your own room and not go out. I mean, depending on person, but it's advisable for me because me myself, I am very I like to be in my own comfort zone. I mean, that's how people are. But at least if it seems fun to do, especially in other people's perspective, don't look at your own shoe or perspective, your own side. Try to look at this person looks at this kind of activity seems like fun. And then the other person be like, yeah, this will be fun, man. And then hey, just say yes. All I'm saying, always say yes to trips. That's the number 3. Always say yes to trips, no matter what. If there's work, I mean, you might want to like reconsider, but at the same time, if I were me, I would just go. I wouldn't like really bother with work anymore. I would just go on trips. So yes, I guess that is pretty much for this episode, day 3 of this 7 episode in 7 days podcast challenge. Now I want to try something. If someone happens to, in my future episode or now in this episode, do comment about any questions, especially since I do tarots. I do tarot reading, and you know, if you have any questions to ask for me to do tarot reading for you for a future episode, then hey, you are welcome to comment. Because why? I want to do like a simple one short segment of like tarot reading. I mean, hey, it depends. If it's like there's nothing, no comments to ask about tarot and something, then hey, I'm good with it. I'll still continue doing this anyway. Haha. And I guess that is all from Zorimari's Thoughts and Knots. It has been. Bye bye.